Hey, and welcome to Real Estate News You Can Use with Ruben.
And Keith Carberry. How are you?
On the ice. Melted.
Got
me. Actually, I think you faked that.
Don't tell my wife. Am I talking out of my head again?
Yeah, you are. Episode 10, man.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. After this episode, I suggest we stop telling people what episode, because I don't want to show people, your web feed.
Wait, you know what? I actually got a few emails that people ask me, do you really have webbed feet? Well, I'm not going to tell you the answer to that. You're going to have to,
I think I saw you on Discovery Channel, like the Learning Channel.
Look what I found.
Oh. Anyways, a lot of news to go over.
A lot of good things happening.
A lot of good things. A lot
of bad things.
You know what? Some people think it's good. Some people think it's bad.
Right.
So why don't you introduce what's going on?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now is the Bush administration proposal plan to freeze the subprime rates to certain people that didn't get a good loan.
Start of 2005.
Yep.
To July 31st.
January 1, 2005 to July 31st.
2007. If you got a loan from then to then, that it is adjustable, this will stop your loan from changing and when it actually adjusts.
Right. So, for instance, let's say you got a loan last year in 2006 and you had bad credit and you got an 8% loan and you're expecting that in 2008 to go from an 8% loan to an 11% loan for the bump up. That's not going to happen. It's going to be frozen from that time for 5 years.
But a few things, though, right?
Right. There's a few things.
You have to be current on your mortgage.
Right. Have missed no mortgages, not late on anything.
You have to be able to not afford the
new bump up.
The new bump up, and right. I guess they're going to have to prove that.
I don't know how they're going to have to prove that, but I didn't see that part, but you mentioned you saw that to me earlier, so I trust you. I trust you.
And I don't know. It's really going to be very selective. Obviously you won't help any people in current trouble. Right?
No, it's not going to help anybody right now. But it's going to help people going forward. They just don't want. They want to stop. Put a Band-Aid on it.
Because there will be actually 2 million mortgages being reset
over the next 2 years.
Over the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, Ruben, I think that. There's such controversy going on about the whole procedure. In fact, some people don't think that the Bush administration is doing enough. Other people think that the Bush administration should not get involved. In fact, which one was it?
Well, there's actually 3 articles that, give information about the freeze. Check it out, renewsyoucanuse.com. Check it out for yourself. Mm-hmm. We're just providing commentary, right?
Right, exactly.
Check out the CNN Money article. Check out the Inman News article. Check out the article from MSNBC Real Estate. But there was actually one article that totally is opposition of it. What do you think, Keith?
Well, I think it was kind of interesting. I don't know where I personally side on it. I'm on the fence. I don't like, typically I don't like the government getting involved in something like this. But at the same time, we're almost at a situation where the government needs to get involved and take some help out a little bit. Only when I believe that the government, by taking a step, is actually going to help the economy.
Right.
And in this instance, I do believe that what the Bush administration is doing is actually going to help the economy rather than hurt the economy.
But is it fair, Keith? I mean, is it fair to people, Justin Miller, especially the one on the Real Estate Journal?
Dude, life isn't fair.
I mean, this guy, Justin Miller, got a $600,000 investment property. He's paying $6,000 a month.
Right.
A subprime borrower, and he's willing to pay what it takes.
He basically says in the article, listen, I got myself in the trouble. Let me get myself out of the trouble. I don't want the government to get involved. Great attitude, and I wish everybody was thinking that way, but unfortunately they're not. And I do think that this is going to help, but I do side with Justin. Personally, I wouldn't want the government to get involved. I made the mistake. Let me get out of it myself.
Personally, I think very highly of personal
myself. You think highly of me? Thank you.
No.
Sometimes I think highly of you too.
Personal responsibility. I think highly of it. Anyways,
yeah.
There isn't all bad news.
Well,
in real estate,
one
right?
thing I want to do mention just real briefly about that is that this really is not a bailout because the government is not putting any money into this program. They just kind of force the hand of the mortgage industry into working with them. Right? Yeah, exactly. I spoke to a wise old man, my dad, today about this issue.
You never know. Our taxes might
and he
go
said,
up.
you know what's going to happen? He said 5 years, That's going to turn into 10 years. It's going to turn into 15 years. So the life of the loan will probably never change. That's his opinion.
Right.
And he's probably right. He's probably right about that, but we'll see.
Well, anyway, were you the one who bought the $175 million property in Colorado?
Isn't that something, huh? 100. So, basically real estate isn't all bad.
Yeah, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Check out the article from...
$175 million for a house.
Yeah. Well, it's more like a ranch.
Right.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado ranch.
But, it's not all bad in real estate. I mean, in fact, if you check out the article from Realty Times, they list, like... Let me pull it out right now. There's like 10 cities where the market actually went up.
I did see that, yes, and some of them are up in the teens, right?
Yeah, let me go down, run down them. Salt Lake City, Charlotte, San Jose.
What's the percentage of that? Like 14?
Salt Lake City went up 15%.
Look at that, that's great, 15%.
San Francisco, Raleigh, Austin, Pittsburgh, Seattle, San Antonio, Portland.
Now they get their turn because we had our turn in Massachusetts. Now it's their turn to.
I know. I mean,
things
seriously.
To turn around. But if I go back again, real briefly, Ruben,
Why are you always going backwards, dude?
I don't know. I just had this little my brain. The two connections don't connect all the time.
Okay.
So I have to go back to this foreclosure issue with the subprime thing. People are trying to take advantage of what's going on in the market, and by the Bush administration implementing like a freeze like this, the people who are looking to buy a cheap house, well, it looks like what's going to happen is that the values of a house are going to go back up again. So the person that is very close to being able to buy his first time home might not be able to get it because the values are going back up again.
That stinks.
So it is a double-edged sword by having the government step in on something like this.
Like I said, pros and cons. Not everyone agrees.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm going to read the real estate FAQ of the week and try to answer some questions.
Oh, from Randy G.
From Randy G.
Miami, Florida.
Keith and Ruben, you've both emphasized many times on your show that real estate is loco. No, actually local.
Local, not loco.
Local. What does that really mean? And can you please explain? Well, Randy?
Randy, yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I want to say in Massachusetts, we wouldn't just say local; we would say wicked local,
right?
Because that's how we say things in Massachusetts. Well, it is definitely local, and a good indication is yes, the market as a whole is down, but you just gave some indications that in some areas it's up 15%. So as a whole, the market's down in October 6%, the price values,
right.
But in Salt Lake City, it's up 15%. So
really all depends on where you are.
What's going on with the economy in that area.
Unless you're just interested or an economist or something, you really don't care what's going on nationwide.
I've been playing with this pen this whole time. I hardly ever have a pen in my hand, so I'm getting rid of it. I don't know. Again, it's the connection thing from left to right.
Real estate is definitely local, meaning that you should always be looking for local news that affects price homes in your area. And I mean, obviously national news is great, right? But
speaking of that local, we're going to have shortly, we're as you know, we've been in meetings with a new website that's coming out soon. We're not going to divulge the name yet, but it's all about providing that local feel in the Massachusetts area, and then they're going to be going beyond that. But it's a very local website in Massachusetts and beyond.
But until that comes out, there's actually another one you wanted to bring up, right?
We've mentioned this before. It's a very good website. I look at some of their stuff every day. It's rismedia.com, rismedia.com. And they have a section that talks about their a local section. They're a national website, but they bring it down to the local level in different areas. So it's a fun website to take a look at. All the little areas are not filled in yet, but there are pockets that take a look at. I know Maine's in there. I know a lot of Florida's in there. So there's a lot of different states that are available. Massachusetts is still available, has not been filled in yet.
Definitely check it out.
It's excellent. I think it's a great little concept.
And more about that mystery website later.
Yeah, that's
future episodes.
Really, it's going to knock your socks off when you see it, Ruben.
All right, well, until next week, I'm Ruben Austria, Maximum Mortgage Solutions.
I'm Keith Carberry with CarberrySoldMyHouse.com. Make it a great day.